Beautiful Sunday at Coors Field. The Rockies trying to do something they have not done all year, take a series from the Padres. They lost the first 3 series against San Diego this year, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. But by virtue of their 5-3 victory yesterday, they have a chance to take 2 of 3 themselves this afternoon. Well, moments ago, there was a moment of silence here at Coors Field to honor the victims in the unspeakable tragedy late last night in Orlando, Florida. And words can't accurately describe our grief and our heartfelt condolences to all of those folks in the Orlando area affected. Just absolutely horrendous. So Tyler Anderson will make his major league debut today. He'll the San Diego Padres, and John Jay will be leading off for the Padres. Tough customer right out of the gate. John Jay having a terrific year for San Diego in his first season after leaving St. Louis. Here's the Southwest batting order for Andy Green this afternoon. Will Myers, we all know how hot Myers is. He'll bat second. Matt Kemp third. Derek Norris will bat cleanup, then Melvin Upton Jr., Alexi Ramirez, Brett Wallace will bat seventh, and Adam Rosales in at second base. So getting a day off is Yangervis Solarte, who's normally in there every day, either at second or at third. See what John Jay's done his last 10 games. I guess once you're such a creature of habit with all the nerves, maybe after you throw a pitch or get the first guy out, things kind of settle in on playing baseball.
Well, exactly, because as Tyler was running out to the mound to take the hill for the first time, I guarantee you he didn't feel his feet hitting the ground. He was out there, and then he's looking around trying to figure out this whole crowd, the extra deck on the stadium. And you can see it's one of those emotions that you can't quite figure out as a player, because you usually don't have those type of feelings. But once you face that first hitter, you throw that first pitch, get that out, now you'll start to settle in.
So here we go. Anderson against John Jay in his first pitch on the outside corner at 89. That ball gets tossed away. That will be a souvenir for Tyler. And he put it in the strike zone. It's a guy that likes to work quickly.
Well, just like a lot of the Rockies pitchers, that's what they're starting to teach down in the minor leagues.
And a great play by DJ to help out Tyler, and he's got his first man in the big leagues.
And he just pointed to DJ and said, thank you. But that's why DJ's out there. A couple pitches into this, John Jay ropes one-on-one hop. DJ knocks it down and then just bare hands it, easy toss over to first base.
Said it many times. I don't know if there's a better second baseman than DJ LeMahieu defensively.
Well,
he's pretty darn good on offense.
Yeah, but especially going left to right, or that sliding catch where he has to catch it and then spin and make the throw to first.
How about the 2 tags yesterday? The one to end the game on the steal attempt. Will Myers takes a strike on the outer edge. Strike 1 on Myers. 0 for 2, 2 walks yesterday. Hero, of course, on Friday night for San Diego with the 3-run 9th inning home run. And that's going to go foul. He was out in front. Myers with 6 home runs, 15 driven in the month of June, hitting .436.
Rocky snapped his 6-game hitting streak yesterday, in which he was hitting over .500 during that streak.
Well, Huey, you remember this time of year. Today is game number 63, which means there are exactly 100 games left for the Rockies in the regular season. Here's the 0-2, changeup away.
And there's certain milestones throughout the course of a season. One of them is those first 60 games, as you referenced, Drew. The other one is the All-Star break, and then the other one is towards the end of August, when you get in the 1st of September.
Tried to paint outside, misses, and it's 2-2. This is truly a pitcher. He's not going to light up a radar gun. And Anderson gets a strikeout on a slider or changeup down and in. So he's got it out. Now he's got his first punch out.
Yeah, they'll throw that baseball out for his first strikeout. And what a guy to strike out. Turns over the changeup on the Subaru Supermo and really just diving down in the zone.
You know, it's interesting. That changeup had the same type of movement that De La Rosa gets on it, where it moves in on a right-handed batter instead of away.
That's hard to control, but Tyler can do it. He's got two different changeups. I mean, he has one that's just the regular, and then the other one, he'll a little looser grip, and he'll turn it over more on that one, along with a curveball and a cut fastball.
1-0 on Matt Kemp. On the outside corner for a strike, a changeup. Matt didn't particularly like that call, but as you see on the Subaru strike zone, it got the outside corner. Pat Hoberg calling balls and strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Anderson, a Las Vegas, Nevada native. Spring Valley High School in the Vegas area. 1-2. Well, you wouldn't know he's nervous by how he's performing right now. He's just
filling it up, right?
Yeah, he's filling up the strike zone. He's changing speeds nicely, and he's taking his off speed out of the strike zone. Really good pitchers pitches. Here's the 1-2 on Kemp, and he comes inside at 92. So he shows a little velocity there. Maybe setting him up for something off speed again. We'll see. Kemp, a blue chip fastball hitter. And this is lined to right. So he gives up his first knock as well. Kemp had a couple of hits yesterday, and that'll bring up Derek Norris. Let's check the Rockies with the gloves today. Facing the left-hander, Ryan Rayburn getting the start in left. Blackman's in center. Cargo 4 ribbies yesterday. He's in right field. Arenado and Story left side. LeMahieu and Mark Reynolds on the right side. Nick Hundley had yesterday off while Dustin Garneau caught, so Nick's got the gear on today. Just the second time this year that Norris is hitting the cleanup spot. Norris was at the plate last night, or yesterday afternoon, more accurately put, when Jankowski was caught stealing to end the game. And it was a dicey moment again. It was some folks thinking, oh man, what's going to happen here again, because Jason Mott gave up a double to Kemp and then hit Brett Wallace. 2 on. In comes Carlos Estevez trying to preserve the 2-run lead with nobody out. This ball's pulled toward the hole. That'll get through. And now it's first and second with 2 outs for Melvin Upton Jr.
But it was a lot of good plays yesterday. The first one was the throw by Dustin Garneau, tailing just slightly, but how about DJ as he's reaching for this baseball and able to tag Jankowski and also keep the ball in his glove. I know Philly was excited about watching that play yesterday.
I really was, and I talked to DJ after the game, and I talked to him this morning. I said, how did you do that? That was probably the best play I've ever seen. It was like, it was lucky. It was really lucky, but he just had the glove out there. He said, I wasn't trying to tag him. I was just trying to pick it, and then his natural movement tagged him. I go, well, that's the best play I've ever seen. He goes, I'll take that.
Actually, he had 2 similar plays. He had one earlier in the game where he had to reach back and made a tag in one motion as he caught the baseball that was tailing a little bit. That one was even more dramatic than the earlier one I'm referencing. He's terrific, man. He's got a Gold Glove. He's going to win more Gold Gloves, in my opinion. Not to mention he's become a year in and year out 300 hitter. Here's the 0-1 on Upton. Inside, 1-1. Tyler Anderson got the first 2, then line single from Kemp, and Norris found a hole on the left side. Anderson's a big kid. He's strong. He's 6'4", 215 pounds or so. And called strike.
Also has a slight hesitation, and that was at the bottom of the Subaru strike zone, but a slight hesitation when he goes to home, where he'll kick, give an extra kick in his motion.
alter the timing
It
just
does.
a little bit for a hitter. Not familiar with them. Here's the 1-2. There's the pause. There's the pitch up top. 2-2.
Because his hitters were taught as when that guy starts to break his hand and the ball starts to get up into a throwing motion, we're thinking about going back into our load. And when a pitcher does that, hesitates, it just throws off the timing. When do I go? When do I start my load?
Did you subscribe to when they go back, you
go back? Right. Better to be early than too late.
This is on the ground to Trevor, and he'll flip to DJ to end the inning. Nice beginning for Tyler Anderson. Got a lot of firsts out of the way. Most importantly, put a 0 up for his club. Christian Friedrich. They were drafted 1 and 2 in 2008 by the Rockies. Friedrich out of Eastern Kentucky and Charlie out of Georgia Tech. Here's the Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss. LeMahieu will bat second. Then Nolan Cargo, Ryan Rayburn. Story 6, Reynolds 7. Reynolds has faced Friedrich. Nick Hundley will bat 8th. He's also faced Christian Friedrich. And then Tyler Anderson. I asked Charlie yesterday, he said, "You going to be smiling at Friedrich?" He said, nope, not once the game starts. But Christian's one of Charlie's closest friends, and they roomed together in the minor leagues. They roomed together in spring training.
Well, and Christian's one of those guys it's pretty easy to like. When he was pitching here, no matter what was happening, what was going on, good, bad, he always had a smile for you, always shook your hand, talked to you. 6th start of the season for Christian. Claimed off waivers and signed, with San Diego. Pretty good ERA at 2.57.
And Charlie bounces it to third. 1 out. Well, the Rockies selected Friedrich out of Eastern Kentucky, 25th overall. He made his debut against the Padres at Petco, coincidentally, and it was a great debut. 6 strong innings.
5 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts in the W back on May 9, 2012. This is his 50th career appearance at Coors Field.
Most of those out of the bullpen. Last year, he was up the entire season for the Rockies and worked exclusively out of the pen. LeMahieu takes a strike. So he's got a fine record so far, 3-1. He started the year in AAA, and then he was called up basically a month ago on May 13th. He's been very good. 2.57 ERA. The only hiccup, he's walked 16 guys. And the ball typically, as you remember with Christian, is going to be in play.
And 6 of those walks came in his very first game at Milwaukee on the 13th of May.
Last outing was a great one. Beat the Atlanta Braves. 6 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 7, walked only 2, and that's down the left field line. Extra bases for LeMahieu. We'll put a pause on the running at second base. So DJ with a 1-out double against Friedrich.
And extends his small hitting streak to 7 ball games. Takes the curveball on the Subaru Supermo, hitting it over the head of Brett Wallace. And again, DJ just comes out play and makes a defensive play in the first inning and a ringing double in the bottom of the first.
Climbing the leaderboard among players in the doubles category. That's number 16. Parra's got 20 to lead the club. Nolan yesterday 0 for 4.
That just means he's due for about 3 hits today.
Pretty much.
It's usually the way it works with them. Doesn't go hitless for very long.
Outside ball 1. The Rockies have been very good in series finales this year. They're above 500 in series finales. You're not going to believe the Padres record. 1-19.
Wow.
To look at that twice.
Make sure it wasn't a misprint.
Yeah.
Rockies are 12-7 in series finales.
And on Sundays, the Padres are 0-9. That, you know, that's not a novel that
he's penning.
he's writing or reading some script that was handed to him. That's all about the scouting report. 2-0 on Arenado. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, that takes me back to the olden days, you know, where you'd have a little binder that you kept with you. You'd write down notes about a pitcher. The pitcher would do it about a hitter. Instead of just everything now is on an iPad.
Nolan got fooled. 2-2.
I saw a couple of those swings yesterday from Nolan.
Indicative that you're
just not picking it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Just not seeing the baseball.
Drifted forward early.
Yeah, well, yeah, when you do that, your head moves forward, and that's what causes you not to see the ball coming out of the hand.
Takes inside at 91. Friedrich's got a good arm. Remember that outing that we showed you a clip of against the Padres? He looked a lot like Cliff Lee that day.
Well, and think back to that, though. He worked out with Cliff Lee over the winter, and he learned that cut fastball from Cliff.
3-2. And ball 4. So now the Rockies have a little something going. First and second, 1 out with Cargo coming up. When the Rockies score 7 runs or more in any ball game, make your way to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. The boss at Taco Bell. Big day yesterday for Cinco. 3-run home run in the first. And also an RBI single later in the ball game. A 4-ribby day for Cargo. He's got 2 out there right now. Cargo loops this foul out of play. Cargo with a dozen RBIs in June. Tied for second in June ribbies with Adam Duvall. Only Will Myers has more. He's got 15. Adam Duvall's messed around. He's going to be in San Diego, I think, for the All-Star game.
He might be. He really turned it on. Pretty impressive here at Coors Field during that 4-game set.
Yep. This is in the air to right center field. John Jay's going to take the baseball. 2 outs. Ryan Rayburn coming up. We'll glance at the gloves for San Diego. Upton, Jay, and Kemp in the outfield. Matt Kemp, of course, used to be a center fielder, struggled late in LA, and then they eventually moved him out of center field. Wallace at third, Alexi Ramirez, Adam Rosales, Will Myers in the infield with Norris again doing the catching. I mention this every time with Brett Wallace, not picking on him, but he does provide opportunities perhaps for the Rockies to lay down a bunt. Rockies have been good with 2 outs. Rayburn takes a breaking ball for a strike. Rockies second in Major League Baseball with 2 outs and runners in scoring position at 270. Actually third. They're behind St. Louis and Boston.
St. Louis has been leading all year in that category. Well,
all
Stephen
year.
Piscotty helps a lot with that because I'm sure he's got some numbers. Still close to 500. 511.
Saw Matt Holliday yesterday hit an opposite field 3-run home run. Oh, 1 on Rayburn with 2 on.
Christian gets in trouble. It's trying to get to his glove side with the fastball. That's when the ball will tail back over the plate, and that's the ones you hit. That was his problem when he was wearing a Rockies uniform.
LeMahieu's at second. He doubled. Arenado at first. He walked. One and one on Rayburn. Ball and 2 strikes. And now a little get together, Derek Norris and Christian Friedrich.
Rockies dugout stores are the place for all things Rockies, including the new Nolan Arenado Colorado Bobblehead Series.
Rockies playing their 27th consecutive day. Tomorrow finally an off day.
They had photo day today before the ball game where they were, the fans were lined up on the warning tracks. Players were walking around taking photos, an opportunity for them to get a picture with their favorite Rocky. I think this is where it really helps. So you have Tyler Anderson on the hill today, because I know the guys are running on empty, but you have Tyler Anderson who's bringing a lot of energy today, making his major league start. So this helps that energy level in the dugout in the clubhouse.
And a strikeout of Rayburn. So Friedrich leaves 2 on in the first. We'll go to the second. No score. Rockies and Padres at Coors Field on a Sunday.
Second inning of work. In 2011, Tyler Anderson and Trevor Story both got drafted together in the first round. They spent a lot of time together, but once Tyler Anderson had an arm injury with the elbow fracture, Trevor Story was pretty worried about him.
I just prayed for him and just hoped the best for him, and I know he's going to do everything he can and work hard to get back to play, and obviously he has, and today's going to be pretty special for him.
Not only is it going to be special for Tyler Anderson, out in the Rockies bullpen, Darryl Scott is out there. This is going to be the first time in 22 professional years that he's seen one of his own guys make a major league debut in person.
Yeah, it's kind of neat, Spilly, for Darryl Scott. And you may be wondering, well, why is Darryl Scott here? Darren Holmes is back in Asheville at a graduation where he ought to be. So Holmes, he's not with the club this weekend. Darryl Scott up from Albuquerque. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anderson working on Alexi Ramirez, who has not missed a game this year for the Padres. Two and 1.
And not only is Darryl Scott in the bullpen, excited to see him. Coach George Horton, that is Tyler Anderson's coach from Oregon, is with all the family members with Tyler Anderson from Las Vegas. And Coach Horton's team, the Oregon Ducks, used to have Andrew Checketts, who's now UCSB's head coach, who's going to Omaha, baby.
Oh, yeah, I knew it'd be full circle.
Yeah, we knew that you would work that in.
Yep.
Spilly was actually holding the mic during the media session with Walt Weiss today, and you came over all excited and said somebody hit a walk-off grand slam for the Gauchos. Spilly basically dropped the mic, interrupting Walt's media session, and started doing a dance in the dugout.
A lap, cheering. I mean, I don't know what else was going on, but for that kid, hey, how about that kid? Real quick, Spilly, 27 at bats a whole year, and he hits a walk-off grand slam today.
Isn't that what's so beautiful about college baseball?
Isn't it, though? And now they're going to the World Series.
Freshman hitting a grand slam pinch hit. That is unbelievable. Congrats to the Gauchos. Congrats to Coach George Horton, who helped Andrew Checketts. And the great story about Andrew Checketts, the UCSB head coach, Tyler Anderson credits Checketts as far as setting up the routine that he started getting in college baseball, and we already noticed that he keeps a book on the bench.
Got a strikeout of Ramirez, his second. 1 out in the 2nd inning. Well, another note about Tyler Anderson and Coach Horton. People may have forgotten, unless they live up in the Pacific Northwest or they're strong followers of college baseball or the Pac-12. Oregon, power in football, been good in basketball. A lot of money from Nike, obviously. They hadn't been playing baseball for a long period of time until the program was resurrected in 2009. And in that first class of recruits, Tyler Anderson out of Spring Valley High School in Las Vegas. They didn't participate between 1981 and 2008. And I know one of the things that precipitated the resuscitation of their program, and that's the fact that they're hated rivals in Corvallis. Oregon State won back-to-back national titles, and I think Phil Knight said,
enough.
Enough.
How much money do you need? I'll write a check for you, and we'll get this thing cranked up again.
There's a strike, 1 and 2. And so Anderson goes to Eugene. He becomes a weekend starter immediately his freshman year. He was twice on the All Pac-12 team, and he was a second-team All-American his junior year. That's when the Rockies selected him in the first round. 1-2 on Wallace, 2-2.
2011, he was a Golden Spike semi-finalist in his 2 years. The last 2 at Oregon, he was 15-8 with the 2.57 ERA.
You look at his numbers, and everywhere he's been, whether was in college or in pro ball, he's been really good. 2012, he was 12-3 in the Sally League. He was an all-star in the South Atlantic League. That pitch just missed. It's 3-2.
Oh, According to the Subaru strike zone, it caught the top part. Brett Walsh was diving out over looking for the changeup.
And Wallace with a real awkward swing, another strikeout.
Well, this time he did get the changeup. And it was an awkward swing. It's right out of the hand. That was the circle change on the Subaru Supermo. And as I mentioned earlier, Tyler has two different ones. You know, one's just a traditional circle change. The other one, he'll take a couple fingers off the baseball and just throw it more with his last two fingers.
On the ground to Nolan, he's got it. It's a 1-2-3 second inning for Tyler Anderson as Rosales is retired. Middle of 2, no score. Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Coors Banquet Beer, brewed in Golden, Colorado since 1873. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Photo day at the ballpark, which is always a great day. Fans getting to mingle with the players and take selfies and shake hands and get up close with their favorite Rockies. Some of the old timers were there too. I mean, they reached into the mothballs. They found a Spilborgh's jersey.
And a Corey Sullivan jersey.
Sully's jersey. Stully and Spilly out and about. Garrett Atkins. A lot of folks are here. Some will be joining us a little bit later on here. Brian Fuentes, Josh Fod, Steve Reed. One strike on Story. And this is popped up down the right field line, foul ground. This is going to be a tough play. And Will Myers unable to make it.
Pretty lucky just to get that close to it, because he had to take off, looking over his shoulder, running a long way. Missed it by 6 inches on the Subaru Supermo.
Been one heck of a catch.
Yeah.
Matt Kemp was over in left center field. He had no chance of getting
Matt's
there.
yelling, it's all yours. You've got it.
He came by for moral support and to catch him in case he fell. 2 strikes on Story. 16 home runs, 42 driven in. Fastball's up. strikeout. 1 out. That'll bring up Mark Reynolds. I mentioned that Mark has seen Friedrich before, because obviously Mark's in his first year at the Rockies, 2 for 5 in his matchups in the past with Christian. A couple of runs batted in as well. Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. Send us your thoughts, photos, questions, anything on your mind. Use your favorite social media platform. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. We'll get to Toyota Talk comments throughout the ball game. Reynolds takes a strike.
It's the same velocity on his fastball that we were expecting coming in to the game. He's been 90 to 92 all day long.
They get him? Nope. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark on 16 career home runs against the Padres. That's on the ground to the 5.5 hole, but they had the shift on, so Ramirez was right there.
It's like when you're playing that game as a kid, just put everybody on one side of the field. That's what they did with Alexi Ramirez.
They'll bring up Nick Hundley.
Remember they tried that the other day, and Brett Wallace dove for the baseball, and Alexi was right behind him and went off Wallace's glove for a single into left field. That time he said, "I'm not diving, I'll let you have it."
It's where your instincts, you know, take over, and the shift can kind of throw off.
You have to relearn it.
Yeah,
because everything you've taught from little league to high school, even into college, is, oh, this is my distance, this is where I go for a ball. I think you're starting to see it integrated more in the minor leagues. Some shifting, talking to people, they're starting to do it more and more, just so they get used to it, so it's not so foreign when they come to the big leagues.
And that's very smart that they do it that way. Ball and a strike on Hundley. 16 career games against his former employers, a .389 average. You may be wondering, say, well, is this an advantage for the Rockies facing Friedrich? After all, he was in their organization. You don't hit typically against your own guys. You may stand in very early in spring training and track baseballs, but it's not like you're getting a multitude of at-bats against your own guys.
And that's what makes it hard. The tracking's fine, but think back to that. When is it? Middle to end of February. And so you go back, you'd have to go back a couple years maybe to the last time he even stood in the box against Christian. It's not like in the 50s and 60s and 70s where a starting pitcher would throw batting practice to his own guys. They just don't do that anymore. Can you imagine that? Starting pitcher today having to throw batting practice?
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. 1, 2, 3, second inning for Friedrich. He's got 3 strikeouts. So Friedrich and Anderson off to good starts on the hill. and Tyler Anderson making his debut against the former #1 Christian Friedrich. Our Coors timeless moment. 2007 season, a special one. Won Larry Walker in 366, slugged .720. That's ludicrous. 49 home runs, 130 RBIs, on his way to capturing the only MVP award in Rockies history. And here he is.
It said 2007.
Did it say 2097? Yeah. You know, we forgot about that.
You're that old, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, this little snack aside, which we will be borrowing some of, I have to tell you, I'm really proud of you because you look great. And Huey said after we saw you last time and you looked really good, he said, listen, next time we see him, he'll be 30 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
But you're not. You look great.
Wasn't going to come here and allow that to happen.
No.
No, like I say, I don't want to have to go out and buy a new wardrobe, so I try to keep the thing because it goes on quick with me.
What are you doing? Been playing golf? I know you were on our Twitter, what is it, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
when
no,
we
that
were
was
in
fun.
Boston.
Enjoyed that. But
Yeah.
yeah, a little golf here and there. Maybe a fishing once in a while.
You're outside. 'cause
Gardening.
You got the nice tan going.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm working very
I
hard.
just golfed the last 2 days, so in Vegas, so it was 110 degrees there.
And you're going to golf tomorrow.
I am. I'm playing tomorrow. That's why I'm here.
In the Rockies tournament.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow down at the Pinery. Christian Friedrich at the plate. We hear from you, obviously. Huey mentioned on the Twitter account. I know you follow from afar. 2 clubs you played for with the Rockies and the Cardinals. What have you seen? What do you like that you've seen?
Well, I'm liking what this kid's doing on the mound for their first 2 innings.
Yeah.
And I've never really heard of him, but I guess this is his debut today. Does that sound right?
Yeah, so take us back to your debut. What was it like? Because I was talking about it, you know, it's almost surreal because you've worked so hard to get there, and then all of a sudden you're there, you say,
Right.
wow.
Everybody was big. You know, everybody was bigger. The ballpark's bigger. There's fans that are more. It was just everything went from one side to a completely different side, and it's quite intimidating. And yeah, I remember against Mike Lacoste, the Giants in Montreal. Walked my first 2 times up. The second time I got to first base, and Will Clark looked at me and goes, "God, they're pitching like you're Babe Ruth." And then I flared a single over the shortstop my 3rd at bat. So
that's pretty funny. And you should have retired right then, man. 1,000 on base percentage. You were good.
I probably wouldn't be interviewing you right now, or sitting here doing an interview
It's
with you.
actually the other way around. Well, I mean, if you want to,
Go
put
ahead,
that
take over. Take over.
won't be quite as exciting. 1 out, John Jay steps up.
So you take batting practice anymore? When was the last time you hit a baseball?
I was with Team Canada, and I was swinging in the cage over in Taiwan. We had a tournament over there in November. Took a few cuts in the cage and ripped my left shoulder right out of the socket.
That was
I don't need to swing anymore.
Do you know who got in the
You were hurting the next day.
I'm good.
Your old buddy got in the cage yesterday, Castilla, and Vinny hit. He hit about 4 or 5 in the seats.
Really?
He had a blast.
I mean, you know, Vinny.
He plays in the Mexican League down there every year.
The batting gloves on.
Oh,
He was swinging from his heels.
2 strikes on Jay. Ryan Spilborgs is with us as well. Spilly's down field level. He has a question for Walk. Spilly?
Walk, you told me when I was a minor leaguer, at some point you're in the big leagues and you'll realize you belong. It was one of the best pieces of advice I ever had, even though I never felt like I belonged. What day was it for you when it turned the corner?
Let me see. I got called up in '89, and I want to say, I think it was 1991 during the season there, and I had a game against the Padres in Montreal against Bud Black, and I swung the bat well, and it was after that game practically where it was like, oh my gosh, I guess things are going pretty well for me, and this is my moment where I feel I belong here. I made it. You know, successful.
But think about that, though. I mean, you broke in '89, but it wasn't until '91.
Yeah.
I mean, people think it's overnight.
Yeah,
but somebody even with your talent to be able to say, oh, it's still a 1.5 years later.
Yeah, no, it took a while, and like I say, you have little peaks, and that's what probably it took so long. I had a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, and the valleys sometimes were longer than the peaks. So until those peaks got to be a little bit longer and more consistent, I didn't have that feeling.
Will Myers at the plate, 2 outs. We were talking about this in regard to Carlos Gonzalez, and again, you watch and keep tabs on the Rockies all the time. You realize, he's an immense talent. In fact, I know you've developed a relationship with him. He's been compared to you skill set wise through the years. You know, Cargo will have these periods where the other night in Los Angeles, back-to-back ball games, he struck out four times each. Yeah. People say, what's the matter? Then, you know, 2 days later, he hits a 3-run jack and has another RBI single. The previous week, he hit 8 home runs over a 10-game period. Right. Do you almost have to remind yourself, you know, take the peek at the back of the baseball card, say, hey, you know what, actually, I am pretty good?
You know what, the game has so many moments or weeks or days where you don't know how you're ever going to hit again, you know, because then those are the struggles that you got to fight through, you know. And I think I said that about Story. If he can be able to adjust to how they're going to be pitching him, you know, he got off that incredible start. All these guys behind home plate with radar guns that are watching him and scouting him are going to find his weaknesses, and he's got to be able to make adjustments at this level to stay successful. So, you know, like I say, Cargo just gets in those little funks, and sometimes it's a little mental thing, but I don't think it stays with him a long time. And he gets in those funks. He's trying to hit it in the third deck. You know, his swing is left center to right center, and that's where he's getting all his success if he stays between those parameters.
So how would you get out of one of those funks when you were in and say, when's my next hit going to come?
Right. Well, you know, a lot of times I would do just the opposite. I wouldn't hit. You know, the game would start, and the first swings I would take would be 15 minutes before the game in the cage, hitting the balls off the tee, and just go out there. For me, more was worse. So you sit there and try and study videos, which I didn't do anyway, try to figure that out. Or else you go out in the cage or in the field and take extra stuff, and you know, things are going bad. You're already messed up in your head, and you go out there and try more, and you're just making it worse. You're compounding the problem. So for me, less was better.
You know who was like that? Giambi. He would go out to the if he did hit, he would go out, and if after say 8-10 swings, couple rounds, he felt fine, he'd drop the bat, he'd watch his teammates hit, he wouldn't even finish the round. He's like, I'm good, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long season. You get a lot of swings in, and you can develop a lot of bad habits. And when things are bad, well, you know, so for me, it was just don't go out there and keep doing the same bad thing all the time.
Was there a guy that you liked to watch when you played? This ball's in the air, left center field. I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We'll get it when we come back. Larry Walker's with us. He's tanned, he's trim, and he brought snacks for us, which we're going to delve into here in a moment. No score. Through 3 innings, the Rockies coming up against their old friend Christian Friedrich in the bottom of the third. We have an old friend with us, Larry Walker, on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So I was asking, was there a guy you watched, or is there a guy now that you watch, maybe from the left side, that you really enjoy at the plate?
Well, one of the things I always did, and to learn good things or bad things not to do, would be always to watch other players. I did it all the time. I'd learn just from watching. It was one of my keys for my whole career. And early in Montreal, one guy I watched that I liked how he stood at the plate and everything. And I might regret it now because not many guys like him, but it was Jose Canseco. He had an open stance, and I just liked the way he saw the ball. Maybe didn't want to emulate how hard he swung at the damn thing, but the way he stood, it just it really opened my eyes to having both my eyes look at the pitcher instead of maybe 1.5 by having my closed stance.
So you weren't really open until watching Canseco?
Yeah, I made some switches with that, and that's kind of helped me out to see the ball better.
That's a little unusual because usually, left-handed guys are going to watch a left-handed hitter more closely, right-handed, etc.
Yep.
This is Anderson. Want to see how he swings the bat. 3 balls and a strike right now. Always happens with pitchers.
So what do you think? He wants his first big league hit right now to get that over with too?
Gotten a lot of things out of the way. Why not?
Oh, he took a swing at it.
That wasn't a bad swipe.
He could have a what was it, Jason Jennings game in New York.
Remember that one?
Just throw a shutout and go deep.
That was a day I will never forget.
That little toe tap, right on that swing.
Means he's going to get the hook here on 3-2.
No.
Chased. 1 out.
So when you're working with Team Canada, do you like talking hitting or just overall game?
Well, they always called me the hitting coach for Team Canada, and I asked them after many years to take it away, and they finally did. I didn't want to have that title as a hitting coach. I just want to be the coach because I prefer to help guys in the outfield if they need it, base running, throw some hitting tips here and there. But it's hard. We have the guys for a week or two. They've been with their big league teams, and then they come to us, and they have their hitting coaches there. So for me to jump in and start getting crazy with anything, which I probably wouldn't do anyway, because I'm not one of those guys that as a hitting coach, I don't say a lot. Guys go for 4 and they're coming shaking their head wondering what's wrong. Well, it's pretty hard to hit a baseball. So they had 4 great at bats. Their swing looked fine. There's nothing to tell them. It happens.
That's such a good point. It's a good point for if there are kids listening. You can overanalyze and realize that if you're really, really good, like Larry was, 7 times you're going to drag the bat out of 10 back to the dugout.
Yeah, and that's what I always say. You fail 70% of the time, you're still pretty good. You're really good.
This guy's really good at the plate. 2-0 on Blackman, and he fouls it off.
One thing we've really noticed and different, I think, than when you and I were coming up, and even how many hard throwers there are coming out of the bullpen now. I mean, it used to be kind of an anomaly if somebody was throwing 95 miles an hour. Now it's if you don't throw 95, you're going to have a tough time finding a job.
That started around 2006. Just kind of.
Just
you
about
know why
the time.
I retired now.
Yeah. A little tougher to get around on.
Getting a little older, and that 31-ounce bat I had to try to get around those stuff wasn't lasting too long. They get shattered.
It is really remarkable when you're watching at home. You see, some guy coming in the 6th inning, and he's 97, 98. So where are they finding these guys?
Yeah.
Charlie pops it up. This is right around the pitcher's mound. And Myers takes it. Pitcher can never handle that because, as we all know, pitchers are non-athletes.
Yeah, I can't run, can't hit, can't catch.
That's your old friend Adam Wainwright. So he threw out a double the other night.
Yeah, pitch hit. Yeah.
Pitch hit double.
Yeah,
that was big.
Yeah, he's definitely athletic.
Before you get out of here, because we can't let you go without busting your chops a little bit, and it's really not. No, I'm not busting your chops. Actually, it's a question of my partner. You just during the commercial break, Jeff showed his beautiful granddaughter, Lindsay, his first grandchild, Lindsay's daughter.
Tatum, yeah.
Yeah, and you said, "Do you remember Lindsay? Because you used to babysit her."
Yeah.
And I said, "Hold on, time out a second." I said, "You had Walker babysitting Lindsay?"
Yes.
And look how great she turned out. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Hey,
it just goes to show you can overcome a lot.
It was free, and all it took was for Wendy to fix him a meal.
Yeah,
That was it.
That was it.
Making $200 a week, I needed free food.
There you go. Great to see you, man.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you guys. Thank you.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. On a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon, it's been all about the pitchers. The two former #1s of the Rockies, Tyler Anderson making his big league debut, and their 2008 #1, Christian Friedrich, who is now working for the San Diego Padres. Anderson has been sensational thus far, and he'll work to Matt Kemp, Derek Norris, and Melvin Upton here in the 4th inning. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, joined now by a guy who was just on our Twitter account as well recently, Brian Fuentes. Tito, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You doing well?
Very good.
So you've been hanging out with Walker. You doing all right still?
Yeah, it's good to see Larry.
Yeah.
You were on the pregame show too.
Yep, I've been doing it all. I'm gonna touch all the bases.
There you go.
And you're getting ready to play golf tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Do you play a lot?
I try to get out once a week.
Do you?
I thought when I retired I'd play. Oh, I'm gonna go to the country club every day and play, 6, 7 rounds a week and
Get really good.
drink margaritas and stuff. And it hasn't worked out, but it's a good trade-off.
Get as good as Garrett Atkins, right? Is that? I mean,
Right,
isn't
yeah,
that
that's
the
the end game.
ultimate goal?
Yeah, it's the end game.
I don't know how he's doing it, because downstairs his 2-year-old and his 4-year-old are running around. His wife Danny is with child, and yet Addie has a smaller handicap than you're supposed to have in that situation.
For sure.
Right?
No doubt.
1-1 on Kemp. He singled to right his first time up against Anderson. Well, this has been the question of the day, because Tyler making his big league debut. What do you recall most prominently about your big league debut?
I remember getting the phone call knowing that it was a good chance for me to get in the game. It was against Tampa Bay when I was in Seattle, and it was early in the game, so I figured, oh shoot, this is probably me. And I got up, and that was in Safeco in 2001, back when a really strong team. And nice play. It was in front of 50,000 people. I come into the game just scared to death, and threw my first warm-up pitch to the backstop, and thinking, oh man, how this is going to work out. But it worked out. I got the next 2 guys out, and it was all good.
Do you remember the first guy you faced?
Yeah, it was. His last name is Cox. I believe his first name is Brian. That's a football player, maybe, but his
He was
last
a
name is
good
Cox.
linebacker with Miami for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah, he's an easy out.
Yeah. Played a little bit for the Jets. That was good. You
Yeah.
ought to get him out.
Yeah.
It is a special day, though. I mean, it's something that you never forget as a player.
Never. No. I just and really for the next probably 2 years, I never really lost that feeling. Every time the phone would ring, you just get those. No, man. I hope I do good. I don't want to let the guys down. So it's just something you never forget.
Some highlights here. 3 All-Star games with the Rockies.
Did you pay much attention when you move over to the Rockies and you're aware that, okay, offensive ballpark, altitude, when did you rid yourself of those thoughts, or were they never really in your mind?
They were never really there. I only had like 6 or 7 appearances with Seattle, and then I got traded over that offseason. So when I came here, I pitched in Colorado Springs, where it's even higher than here. And so when I came, I was just so eager to get a chance, get an opportunity, and I pitched a majority of my career here. So this was home. I think I don't know what the numbers were, but I think they might have been better here than anywhere else and on the road. So it was, I never had a problem with it.
Is that the greatest adrenaline rush and something in retirement that you can't replicate, when you came out in the 9th inning, game on the line, trying to get 3 outs and shake hands? That's got to be an incredible rush.
There's nothing better. There is absolutely nothing better. And get into that, it's, I closed for here for, 5 years or so, and then I went and closed some other teams, and then towards the later part of my career, you start pitching, you start going back up the ladder again. You're not closing anymore. Now you're pitching the 7th, and then you're pitching the 6th. And you just can't duplicate that. Even from the 8th and 9th, there was something special about coming in the 9th inning, knowing that you were the last resort and you want to do well.
We'll come back more with Brian Fuentes in a moment. Tyler Anderson isn't giving us much time to converse. He has been outstanding.
2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at Rockies.com on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Vote up to 35 times at Rockies.com/vote. And as we come back upstairs with the former All-Star Brian Fuentes, Drew Goodman.
Joe, the All-Star Game is going to be in San Diego. What were your, I guess, most prominent impressions of being a part of the All-Star festivities? The first one, and then, you know, you became a regular there for a little bit.
Right. I remember the first one I was selected to it when I was a Rocky, and I was pretty surprised when I got selected. But, you know, the thing I remember most is walking into the locker room and seeing the faces, you know, the guys who were in the room with, and thinking, you know, what am I doing here with these guys, you know, and just so nervous. And everyone's, you know, they're, you know, all those guys were perennials, and you know, it was walk in the park for them, and I was just so nervous. And you're there to have a good time,
right.
You know, like the All-Star Game. Now it means something, you know, you're playing for home field advantage. But when I first started, it was, you know, just a game, exhibition game. So, you know, for an exhibition game, I've never been so nervous.
1-1 on Nolan. Spilly's downstairs. Spilly, what do you have?
Well, Brian, you and I both played on that 2007 World Series team, and a lot of the guys are here today. Josh Fogg's here, Corey, Atkins. Tell me about what was so impressive about that group. What was your favorite part of being on that team?
My favorite part of being on that team, obviously, you know, having as much success as we did was very special. But there was really a brotherhood for that team. You know, the guys were just really close knit, and you know, the time we spent together off the field as well as on the field. You know, when you're on the field, it's all business, and everyone has a job to do, and we go execute and, you know, get the win, and it's great. But, you know, some of the team dinners we had were just, you know, unbelievable, and you never forget those.
Tell people how rare it is to be on a group that, especially at a professional level, where it was that close knit.
Yeah, it's a rarity. I remember LaTroy Hawkins getting up in front of the team and saying that one day. He said, you know, this is a special team. And at that point, LaTroy had been, you know, he had been around the league for, you know, 10 or 12 years already. And he said, this is something special. You guys, this is a rarity. And I believed him, but, you know, not till I moved on and did I see that he was 100% correct. That, you know, I'd never been on a team after that had that kind of camaraderie.
Do you think if you hadn't have had to wait so long, the 7 or 8 days going into the World Series, I know ifs and buts, it's tough to tell, but you guys were on such a roll there, just playing every day, kind of had that we can't lose attitude.
Yeah, that
you think it would have been different? Yeah,
I think it would have been different. You know, I know for sure it would have been different as far as, you know, going in 4 games. Boston was a very good team. You still look at that team on paper, and they were very talented. You know, we were definitely the underdogs in the fight, but we were rolling. Everything was clicking, and we had that you know, extended period off, and I think that hurt us a little bit. But yeah, you know, it's got to go game 6 or 7 if we don't have that break, I'm thinking.
I would agree with that, because you guys were fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
5 strikeouts for Christian Friedrich, and that'll bring up Cargo. Hit a fly ball to right center field his first time up. Rockies have had 2 base runners, came in the first inning. It's a strike. LeMahieu had a sharp double to left, and then Nolan walked behind that. Everybody since then has been retired, and Tyler Anderson has retired 10 in a row himself. Christian Friedrich seems like a new guy in a Padre uniform.
When he was here at times, it seemed like he would nibble too much, and he would end up falling behind hitters and trying to be too fine with his pitches, afraid that if he threw it over, you know, might get hit and might get hit hard.
And Cargo's gone. 2 outs.
So with your delivery, where did you learn that? I mean, were you over the top early in your career and then kind of dropped down more later on, or where did you develop that?
I was over the top, you know, all the way till 1999, and then they came to me, gave me the opportunity to drop down, and they were so tired of trying to fix me over the top to make me look so much like everyone else, and they said, just do whatever feels comfortable. And I was like, okay. So I know it was a little ugly to watch on TV, but it ended up being one of my best assets, is being, you know, a little quirky, a little funky. That delivery gave me a lot of deception. Was
it easy for you right out of the gate to be able to throw that way, or did it take you some time to develop a feel there?
Surprisingly enough, it came right to me. You know, it was the best explanation of that is the pitching coach said, hey, imagine you're just skipping rocks in the lake. So I just went out there thinking, okay, I'm just going to throw these balls across the lake and just let it rip, and no one's going to try to correct you, and maybe give you a pointer here and there, but it was just do what you want.
That's a great visual, because I mean I could just see that arm action, how you could skip the rock 10, 12 times across the lake.
Yeah.
That bounces up there, 1-2 on Rayburn. If I remember right, I think you told the story a couple weeks ago via Twitter. Like your first outing, wasn't it a terrific outing the first time you dropped down and did it in a game? Yeah.
It was the day before my start is when they approached me about it, and they said, hey, we want you to try this. We don't care the results, but I know they did. But
they always say that.
Yeah, we don't care what happens. I swear, just go out there and do whatever you want. And I went out and I punched out the side the first inning, and like 12 pitches, and I never looked back.
Speaking of punching out the side, Friedrich just punched out the heart of the Rockies order. He's got 7 strikeouts. We'll let you continue with the day. It's always great to see you, Brian.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, you bet. Brian Fuentes. Tyler Anderson in his big league debut, Christian Friedrich against his former club, and they have been mowing them down. Now, as we come upstairs, Tyler Anderson has a couple of different changeups. One's conventional looking, the other not so much.
Right, and that's why I'm going to go to the not so much one first, because of the way he grips it. You can see there's just really a couple fingers here on a seam. So this one is slower than the traditional one that you're talking about, which is just the circle change. This is the first one that I just referenced a moment ago, where he just really has the last 2 fingers on it. And then the more traditional one with the circle change, and we'll come back to it in a moment. But this one will be thrown a little bit harder. And you could just make a circle with your index finger and your thumb. And then you have 3 fingers on the baseball, and that one will be just a little bit harder. But you can still get the same action on it. And so that's what you're seeing here with the circle change here, but it's coming off of 3 fingers, so you get that good downward action and some movement. The other one, this one's really hard. That first one we showed is really hard to be able to do, where you just kind of have 2 fingers on, these other 2 fingers. Think about trying to throw a baseball like that.
I was just going to ask you, how does he command that?
I don't know. But that's why you work so hard at it.
You feel like you're going to drop it, just hold it.
It's just going to fall out of your hand, or if you throw it, it's only going to go 30, 35 feet.
You feel like you're going to make a pitch to home plate like 50 Cent.
Oh, that's 3 days in a row. Nice drop.
We had to work that in.
That's a mic drop moment.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Alexei Ramirez. 5 strikeouts in the ball game for Freeland. Both teams had runners at first and second in the first, and nothing since then. Rockies with 1 hit, and the Padres with 2. 2-2 on Ramirez up the middle. A diving stop, Story to first. Safe.
Wow. Just wow all the way around. First get to the baseball, to slide, come up and make a spin throw after you've slid in the dirt, and then the pick at first base by Mark Reynolds, and Alexi beats this by an eyelash.
He did beat it. That is a great play. And if not for a guy who runs pretty well in Ramirez, he's going to have his man.
Diving, and then the quickness to get up and make a throw. Didn't quite get the grip he wanted to, but enough on it, and to keep it close enough to the bag for Mark to be able to even dig it out.
Brett Wallace struck out his first time. Double play candidate. And a strike. Really great mix of pitches so far by Anderson, keeping the Padres off balance, and he's been down primarily.
And only 22 balls out of the 65 pitches.
Yeah,
they call the balk.
Yeah. That will not be an error. It will be a balk.
And it was called by the home plate umpire, Pat Hoberg. He called it. Yeah, he went past that imaginary 45-degree line. Mark Reynolds was caught. That's why it went by him. He was starting to come off the bag.
Well, that's potentially costly, because if you get a ground ball here, no longer an opportunity to turn two. One strike on Wallace. Scoreless in the fifth. And that's a weak fly ball to left field. One out, no advancement. Adam Rosales batting eighth will come up. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROXWIN at papajohns.com. You know, this is the key at bat in this sequence, since you have a runner at second base, but you're in the bottom of the order. Rosales had to come into the ball game yesterday when Solarte departed with the sore thumb. Solarte not in the lineup today. Rosales did throw out a double in his first at bat yesterday.
Rosales hitting 192 coming into the game, but 41 strikeouts in his 99 at bat, so he is a strikeout candidate.
And that's a strike.
The ability to throw a first pitch, off-speed pitch for a strike sets up the whole at bat.
Well, it's really the ability, Huey, to throw his entire arsenal for strikes. The two changeups that you just showed.
Because as a hitter, what do you do? What do you look for? You can't look for anything. You can't go on pitch sequences. It's everything is just a reaction. And if you do guess, your odds of guessing right go way down.
On the ground to short. Story fires across, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Friedrich.
Trevor got an in-between hop on that ground ball by Rosales. And had to sit back and use the soft hands. So he can't come get it. Now he's sitting back and just, you just hope that your hands are out in front of your body, and they were, and then a hard throw to first base.
Runner takes off for third. That will be a stolen base.
6th of the season for Alexi. 43rd by the Padres.
1-0 on Friedrich, so A little more pressure on Nick Hundley to keep the ball in front of him. One and one. And 1 and 2.
So the fourth pitch where the second and third one were on the Subaru strike zone. That's all you have to do.
Trying to make one more pitch here in the fifth with Ramirez at third. 2 and 2 on Friedrich.
Nick wants to make sure Tyler's committed to this pitch. Nick had called for a changeup. He shook to a fastball, and then they're going fastball in.
And he gets the strikeout. Nice job of pitching with the leadoff man at second base. Tyler Anderson having a marvelous debut. Get him some runs. No scores. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Story will lead it off. Here's this week's CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. There have been 7 cycles in Rockies history. Which player completed it the quickest? Was it Tulowitzki? Was it Cargo? Was it Laser? Mike Lansing, go to @RootSports_RM to cast your vote. We'll tally them up and see who had the majority in a couple of days. Story will lead it off against Christian Friedrich, who struck out the side in the 4th inning. Arenado, Gonzalez, and Rayburn. He has 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. And that ball is hit hard, but it's right at Alexi Ramirez. It's twice the Rockies have hit it in the 5.5 hole, but the Padres have been aligned perfectly. Andy Green, their skipper, handled the defensive alignment the last few years for Arizona. You and I were talking to Mark McGuire, his bench coach, 2 days ago, and he said this guy's like a savant with defense, whether it's teaching some of the nuances of infield play or positioning. He said he's the best I've ever seen.
And Mark's learning from him, because Mark told us, he said, I'm more of an offensive guy. I'm watching swings, I'm watching the pitcher, and then he'll say something about the defense, and you're like, oh wow, that really was I could see what he was talking about, and he also said that's where Arizona misses him. But they weren't going to deny him the opportunity to go manage a ball club.
0-1 on Reynolds. Ball and a strike on Mark.
It's worked out twice today for the Padres with the positioning of Alexi Ramirez. How far over in the hole, I mean, they put their guys.
Two-one. Good swing. 2-2. Hundley on deck. Rockies won yesterday 5-3. In the process, Tyler Chatwood improved to 8-4 with just a 2.89 ERA. That's through 13 starts now for Chatty.
He even said he probably didn't have his best stuff, but he made pitches when he had to. I think there was one fly ball out yesterday, or 12 ground ball outs.
Got some interesting numbers for you that we're going to share after this pitch that Dougie compiled. We were all chatting about this after the game yesterday. How good he's been through 13 games with that low ERA. Well, look at this. So we said, all right, who's been lower through 13 games in Rockies history? We all agreed Ubaldo had to be. I mean, he had that unbelievable year in 2010, started the All-Star game, 116. Tyler Chatwood, people forget because he's been gone for 2 years. 248 through 13 starts 3 years ago. He's number 2 and 3 on the list. Then Chacin, and then Mike Hampton in his All-Star season, his first year. This ball's pulled foul.
For Tyler yesterday, 6 2/3. Just gave up the 6th hit, held by a couple double play, ground ball outs, couple strikeouts, and the one outfielder that was involved was the base hit of John Jay, where it was an assist by Gerardo Parra. He came up and made the throw, and they got that 7-5, 4-3-5 put out. That was the only time an outfielder was involved yesterday.
Otherwise, they could have
They could have
daisies,
just, yeah,
huh?
they could have pulled the lawn chair up.
This is on the ground to third. Wallace with an easy play. 2 outs.
First 20,000 fans through the gates on Tuesday, June 14th, will receive a Colorado Rockies Flag Day beach towel. That's courtesy of King Supers.
13 in a row set down by Christian Friedrich.
It was a 5th ground ball out by Friedrich, a couple fly outs, 7 strikeouts, but the impressive number for Friedrich, he's 11 for 16 for first pitch strikes.
Only hit for the Rockies, the 2nd hitter of the game. DJ LeMahieu lined a double down the left field line. And this is to shallow center, an easy play for John Jay. 14 in a row set down by Friedrich. Tyler Anderson will try to continue to match that when we come back. Former #1 pick, not of the Rockies. Former #1 pick. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games and get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. Interesting storyline today. Tyler Anderson making his big league debut, and he's opposed by the former Rocky #1 pick as well, Christian Friedrich, separated by a few years, and both have been near perfect. One hit for the Rockies, just 3 hits allowed by Anderson in the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order. So he's one of the things that we mentioned with any starting pitcher, much less a guy making his debut, Huey. How does he handle things his third time through? It'll be John Jay, Will Myers, Matt Kemp.
But you really don't see any good swings taken off him through the first 2 times through the order.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's not like there's been a bunch of Adam balls. There's been a bunch of balls like that. That actually is one of the harder hit balls, quite frankly, of the day. Mark Reynolds jogs to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that'll bring up Myers.
14 of 19 for first pitch strikes for Tyler. That was the 7th ground ball out, 3 flyouts, 6 strikeouts. So it's whatever you throw, I'm going to match you on both sides by these former #1 picks.
He struck out Will Myers in his first at bat. That ended a string of 25 straight plate appearances without a strikeout from Myers, which was actually the 3rd longest going in Major League Baseball. That's how good the stuff has been for Tyler Anderson. Just recently turned 26. 20th pick in the 1st round in 2011 out of the University of Oregon. And this is a ground ball to Nolan.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch in the last couple of days, because we were talking about how Chatty didn't allow a ball in the air, literally. And I'm looking at our scorecard here. There was a fly ball by Myers to Parra in the 3rd. There was a fly ball with nobody out in the 5th inning by Brett Wallace. I said Parra, but to Rayburn in left. He's the only guy involved. Blackman and Cargo, they haven't caught a fly ball. They're going to have to go to practice again. They haven't seen a fly ball in so long. Yeah.
Early work.
Last couple of days, they haven't been able to catch a fly ball.
See, that's how you sit on the bench the next day after you've had a stellar outing like he's had.
Tension free.
Yeah, life is good.
Kemp has one of the hits, and this is blooped to shallow right. He's got another hit. And he didn't hit the first one much harder than that one.
Yeah, both of those balls up, it might total 300 feet. Both of his hits. Tyler Anderson's looking at the baseball, make sure there's not a cut on it. He's got to give it, throw it away.
I guarantee you there's a cut on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was rubbing it up, looking at it, and the umpire said, "Nuh-uh, just throw it out."
Derek Norris with 2 outs. He rolled one through the left side in the 1st inning. Also hit a little comebacker. And that's going to drop.
This is a little reminiscent of the 1st inning. You get 2 outs, and then Kemp a little bleeder. Norris a base hit. Yeah, 1st and 2nd. 2 outs, and last time it ended up being a ground ball force out at 2nd base to end that inning.
Watch Nick Hundley come out, do this with runners at 1st and 2nd. Flash signs letting your infield know if there were a double steal where you throw it, 3rd or 2nd. If there's a double steal right here, we really have a story. Because Matt Kemp doesn't run anymore. If he doesn't run, Norris can't run, and Norris is not somebody who's going to run typically either. So it's going to be on Melvin Upton. He takes strike one. Upton a ground ball to short, and he was caught looking. No score, top of 6. And it's 0-2.
And that was a tardy swing on the fastball. Cut the fastball in on the Subaru strike zone. Melvin appeared to be sitting on a changeup.
And this is in the air to Rayburn in left center. And he's got it. A couple of singles with 2 outs, 2 men left. Middle of 6. Scoreless at Coors Field. Don't say that often. You know what time of day it is? It's time for our Kubota pitching performance. Boy, we've had 2 great pitching performances today. Tyler Anderson, in his major league debut, has been just marvelous. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Now the Rockies trying to figure out Christian Friedrich, his family and friends in Mass, many from the Las Vegas area. And now they get to watch him swing the bat. And he struck out his first at bat, but you know what? He's got some ability at the plate here. We like the swing, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad swing at all. It might have to be one of those days where he just goes little league.
Why not? As Larry Walker said, go Jason Jennings. Everybody remembers Jennings' debut. Longtime Rockies fans, Shea Stadium, complete game shutout, and he hit a bomb.
Nothing to this game, right? Big leagues. So what?
Call me up to the next league. Good eye, 2-1. Blackman on deck. Rockies have not had a base runner since Nolan's walk with 1 out in the first inning. $14 in a row set down by Friedrich. This is up the middle, and it's grabbed there at second base by Rosales. Let's watch the reaction from his family and friends. The elation and then the disappointment.
So close. But worry about your pitching.
That's a great shot.
That was.
So here's Charlie, ground ball to third and a pop out to first.
This looks like a different Christian Friedrich.
And it's not just, well, he's super motivated today and he's having one of those special days. He is having a special day, but he has a 2.57 ERA coming in. This is going to be a tough play for Ramirez, and he's not going to throw out Charlie. So the Rockies have another base runner finally with one out in the 6th inning. That snapped a string of 15 in a row retired by Friedrich.
Just have to hit it in the right spot.
Here's our Lowe's home field advantage. Highest home batting average in Major League Baseball. Daniel Murphy having such a great year, his first year in the nation's capital, hitting .406 at Nationals Park. And then LeMahieu .351 here at Coors Field. Well, Huey, you have two bagels up on the scoreboard. You have a great bat handler at the plate. I know it's a left-handed pitcher, but you got a guy at first who can run, in Charlie Blackmon.
Maybe give it a pitch and then try a hit and run. Just something to maybe create an opening here or there.
Mayhew at .341 over the last month. One and one.
If you're going to do it, this is the count. 1-1's a great count.
And also the way Friedrich's been working, it may be a breaking ball count.
DJ does not swing and miss very often. Less than 10% of the time.
Yeah, lowest percentage in baseball. Charlie not going, and this one is right at the shortstop. Ramirez boots it. That was a double play ball, and Ramirez boots it. See if Colorado can take advantage.
7th error of the season for Ramirez. The Padres had come in 13th in the National League in fielding percentage at .981. And if you're going to order up a tailor-made double play, that was it. He just pulled up and went underneath his glove. Oh, excuse me, that went off the heel of his glove. I thought it went underneath it, but we saw in the Subaru Supermo is off the heel.
Nolan a walk and a strikeout.
Nolan 355 with runners in scoring position.
And a .323 average against left-handed pitching, which is the best on the club. You get your two big boppers back to back. Scoreless in the 6th, rubber game of this 3-game set. Rockies with a win, get within 3 games of 500 with the day off coming, and then the Yankees in town on Tuesday. Here's the 1-0. And that's way outside, 2-0. Three and nothing on Nolan. Now, ordinarily, I mean, Nolan's always got the green light, but this is one you take one.
Yes,
right?
I would take one here for sure. Maybe a different situation. You say, go ahead, swing away.
And he was taken the whole way. And it's ball 4. So the first time that Friedrich has really shown a chink in the armor. And now the bases are loaded for Cargo. Maybe unsettled by that ground ball that was not handled by Alexi Ramirez. Cargo, a fly ball to right and a strikeout. This is one of those deals, Huey, in your mind. You got to get it in play.
You have to, because Tyler Anderson's pitching his tail off right now. Christian Friedrich, too. I mean, if that ground ball's handled, it's double play, you're out of the inning. So whenever you have that small mistake, you have to take advantage of it.
Here we go. Bases loaded, one out. Good eye.
And if you're wondering about the arms of the Padres in left field, Melvin Upton Jr., very strong arm out there and really good accuracy too. And John Jay, average to above average with the accuracy. Kemp the same in right field.
Went soft twice. One ball, one strike. Lefties coming in, actually hitting higher than righties against Friedrich. 286 versus 250. And that's a strike. Getting a dose of curveballs. Curveballs and a slider there. One ball, two strikes.
Same mile per hour on the second, third pitch on the Subaru strike zone.
Tried to take it a little further off the plate. Not a surprise. 2-2. Rockies with their first base runner since the first inning. Friedrich had retired 15 in a row before the Blackman infield hit. And Cargo's gone. He didn't throw a straight one to him. And it'll be left to Ryan Rayburn.
And all three were the curveballs between 81 and 82 miles an hour.
Rayburn has struck out twice against Friedrich.
Just hit a ground ball towards the shortstop area. A lot of room. And Alexi Ramirez is so far in the hole. That area behind DJ and right next to him.
Just 87 pitches in for Friedrich. Here's the 0-1. Blackman at third. LeMahieu reached on that error. DJ's at second, and Arenado's at first.
The last 7 pitches have all been off speed.
Two and one.
Finally came with the fastball.
You remember last year working out of the pen, Christian really struggled against right-handed hitters.
Didn't have the out pitch for him.
3-1. And now Rayburn in the driver's seat.
Put it in the middle of the Subaru strike zone. Just wherever you're thinking you want that baseball, that's the only window you look at.
Righties a year ago hit .369 against Friedrich. 3-1, bases loaded. Ball 4, and the Rockies have a run. Patient, veteran at bat from Ryan Rayburn. 1-0 Colorado.
Well, Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, comes out to talk to Christian Frazier. We'll take you back to the pitch by pitch. First pitch was a curveball, 77 miles an hour, called a strike. 78, ball 1. 90 mile an hour fastball, ball 2. 89 high, ball 3. And then the last one off the dish away from Rayburn. Rockies finally on the board today with their first run and RBI for Rayburn.
So here we are with 2 outs in the 6th inning. In an impeccably pitched game by Tyler Anderson and Christian Friedrich, and the lone run, a bases loaded walk. Story a strikeout in the 2nd and a sharp ground ball to short in the 5th. The shift is on for Trevor. You put that helmet back on. You said breaking ball here?
I was, just because I was thinking about what they did to Rayburn their first pitch. It was a 77 mile an hour slow curveball.
That's what he got, and he ripped it foul.
Same mile per hour, too.
It's just one of those things, you know, you watch, and I know you were so studious that you're watching from the dugout, and you say, all right, a couple hitters down, then all of a sudden you put your helmet, your batting gloves on, you say, there's a pretty good chance I'm getting a breaking ball.
And a right-handed batter, the same type of guy that you are right before you, a guy that can leave the ballpark with one swing of the bat. That helps you.
0-1. Not a rookie in baseball has produced more RBIs than Trevor Story. He's got 42. 7 more than Corey Seager, Dodgers' outstanding young shortstop. Omar Mazzara, who we'll see later in the year with Texas, has 28 RBIs. He leads All-American League rookies. 1-1, bases loaded. Rockies up 1-0. And Story, the check swing, fouls it off.
Just in case, Kevin Quackenbush is up in the bullpen for San Diego. Quackenbush pitched 2 innings on Friday night.
Trevor spreads out a little more, 1-2 count, and he strikes out. That'll end the inning. The Rockies come up with a run on the bases loaded walk to Ryan Rayburn. 1-0. Loaded walk. It's an unearned run because of the Ramirez error. Rockies can care less about that. Going to the 7th, Tyler Anderson in his major league debut has been unbelievable. Alexi Ramirez, Brett Wallace, Adam Rosales, and our friend Kathy Sabin enjoying it. Don't know what's more fun, listening to Jeff talk family stories with Larry Walker or watching Tyler Anderson's debut. And I do want to. I have to ask Wendy what she was thinking about allowing Walk to
Hey, he took
babysit.
great care of Lindsay and got a free meal out of it, and we probably, I don't know, went out on a date or did something in the minor leagues.
Yeah, back then you guys went to Taco
Bell
together.
exactly.
Got an hour away.
But I'm enjoying watching Tyler pitch today, just to see the confidence with which he stepped out on the hill today. And it started from the very first pitch that he threw. It was a strike at the knees.
Gonzalez Germain is up in the Rockies bullpen. Keep in mind, Carlos Estevez is down. So if it's a 9th inning situation, it'll be Jason Mott. In all likelihood. Here's the 1-0. And Ramirez takes the ball. So it's 2-0. That's been unusual today. Two and one.
And what pitch did he go to when he really needed to throw a strike? He went to his changeup.
And another off-speed delivery. And I say off-speed because the fastball would be 89 to 92. But he changes speeds with his heater also.
Which is hard to do. Think about that. You're trying to regulate how hard your arm's coming through, but you still want to throw a fastball. And I also give a ton of credit to Nick behind the plate today, because he has just called a fabulous ball game. In and out, changing speeds, keeping the hitters off balance, just a veteran leadership helping the youngster.
He wants a changeup. And this ball is lifted to left center field and well hit. And this is going to be a ground rule double for Ramirez. So a leadoff double in the 7th in a 1-0 game.
The rare time today that Tyler has left a changeup. This was the harder changeup, but it's right belt high on the Subaru Supermoto Alexi Ramirez, and it kicks off the warning track up into the stands. This is kind of reminiscent of what happened in the 5th inning with the Ramirez standing on second base and nobody out. Tyler pitched out of traffic, got Brett Wallace to fly out to left, ground ball by Rosales, and then struck out Christian Friedrich. I think this time though, you also have to think about the pitcher being hit for here in the 7th.
One and nothing on Wallace. You may recall Brett Wallace years ago was part of the Matt Holliday trade that brought Matt from Oakland to St. Louis. In 2009, he went to Oakland with Clayton Mortensen, a right-handed pitcher, and infielder Shane Peterson. This is off the glove to DJ, off the glove of Anderson.
And
One out and no advancement.
Right, that is key. No advancement by Alexi Ramirez.
1-4-3 on the putout. That'll bring up Rosales, who has twice hit the ball on the ground to the left side. Once to Nolan, once to Trevor Story.
To get a glove on this, Trevor was right behind, but then Alexi said, no, I'm not going. To get the force out at first base, we'll have a double switch. TR writing it in. Gerardo Parra will go into Tyler's spot. And fans need to get on their feet for this young man. Give him a standing ovation.
You kidding me? What a debut for Tyler Anderson. Could not have gone better. Nearly flawless. Soak it all in. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by StubHub. Looking for great seats? Head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. Now, Tyler Anderson, a little bit more about him. He's still taking notes, even though now he's out of the game after 6 1/3. Rockies leading 1-0, and they'll pass the baton to Gonzalez Germain. And Germain's going to face a pinch hitter. It's going to be Hector Sanchez pinch hitting for Adam Rosales. And Alexi Amarista has come out on deck for Friedrich. Strike one. One out. Ramirez is at second. Alexi doubled, leading off the inning. And this is popped up on the infield. Trevor Story. 2 gone.
Your attention. Pitch hitting for the Padres.
I think for Gonzalez too, he has the ability to get left-handers out just as well as he does right-handers, and the numbers bear it out. 147 a batting average against by the left-handed hitters, 268 by right-handers, as Alexi Amarista comes in now to pinch hit. 0 for 3 on the season pinch hitting.
Two gone. Amarista at the plate against Gonzalez Germain inside. And the Rockies double switched. So Gerardo Parra is in left field for Ryan Rayburn. Parra will hit third next inning. Two and out. Rockies have only one left-hander in the bullpen, and that's Boone Logan. Boone threw a full inning yesterday. If you're wondering about, matchups with a guy like Amarista and John Jay being on deck.
Well, that's where the bullpen was a little.
Germain.
Yeah, bullpen was a little short going into the game, and it was even more imperative that Tyler Anderson did what he did today at 6 1/3, because Eddie Butler was the long guy. You mentioned for Estevez, he's thrown 57 pitches since Wednesday, so he's out.
Get 2 full days off today and tomorrow being the off day. 3-0 on Amarista. Pours that over. He didn't take any chances. He threw that at 94. He didn't guide it over in case Amarista was going to fire. Tremendous debut for Tyler Anderson. Waited a long time, battled through that stress fracture in his elbow last year, never pitched an inning. That's a called strike 2. There's that good changeup of Germain, and now it's got to be in his head. 3-2. Is he going to go fastball or changeup?
Because 3-0, he goes fastball at 94, and then just darts the changeup, spots it up on the same location in the same plane as the fastball.
Here we go. 3-2 with 2 outs, and now Huntley's going to jump out of his stance. He calls time. This is one you want to be convicted on.
Right. Whatever you feel like throwing, let me know right now as I'm out here, because this is what I think we should throw. What do you think? Because you have the baseball. And I like that by Gonzalez, just patting him on the arm, saying, okay, we're on the same page. Here we go.
This young man's handling himself really well.
Hasn't
Kind of
he?
under the radar because, he's He's in a pressure situation now. We've seen him in so many different situations. He's done a really nice job for Walt Weiss. 3-2. He went fastball at 95. It was fouled back.
Also for the role he's been asked to fulfill, where it could be a couple of hitters, but it also could be an inning plus.
And another foul ball on another fastball. Well, 2 heaters. Now do you go changeup?
I don't know, only because I was thinking here, because he just fouled off the fastball over their dugout. So if you throw a changeup and the speed up is bad and he gets a base hit, then you feel like, wow, I just gave him one. But it's also your best pitch.
It was a fastball again.
I do believe it was because of the swing prior. And now that he's pulled that, the changeup does come into play. And now you also have to make sure, as Tyler Anderson looks on, that if it's a ground ball to the right side for Gonzalez, you need to get over.
Missed. So Amarista goes to first. 2 on for the dangerous John Jay. 0 for 3 this afternoon.
Well, the New York Yankees are going to be in town, and they'll make a rare appearance, so you don't want to miss the action at Coors Field on June 14th and 15th. Get your tickets today. That's a Tuesday night and a Wednesday day game.
Nathan Eovaldi and Ivan Nova. Here's Jay, 2 on and 2 outs, and that's a base hit up the middle. That'll tie up the game. Amarista's going to go first to third. This guy has been incredibly good this year with runners in scoring position.
Hitting over 400. Before that at bat, it was 404, which was 4th in the National League. Stephen Piscotty at 5'11", leading, but John Jay yesterday base hit to left field with the runner in scoring position. Today, right back up the middle.
And now you have the other guy in the lineup who's done so much damage of late, Will Myers. Gonzalez Tremaine trying to keep it 1-1. And this is what happens in baseball when you've played so many games in a row. I think in a perfect world, that would have been Boone Logan's hitter.
Yeah, if you're thinking also you had Jake McGee on the backside, you have 2 left-handers out there. But you have to say Boone if he's your only left-hander for possibly into the 8th or 9th inning of the game.
You know, that could be it. Or Logan pitched a full inning yesterday. You say, well, he didn't pitch on Friday. He just came off the disabled list with a shoulder.
He might be down today.
That's a good looking pitch. 0-2. Right at the bottom of the zone. So this one is going to be on the bullpens. Tyler Anderson, in what was a magical debut, will get a no decision. He did his part. 6 1/3. That run will work against him. 1 run, 6 hits, didn't walk anybody, and he struck out a half dozen.
92 pitches, 60 of them for strikes.
Swung on and missed. Germain fans Will Byers to keep it at 1-1. Stretch time at Coors Field. And as we always do on Sunday afternoon, we stick around for a rendition of God Bless America. 1-1, Rockies and Padres.
Fans, the Colorado Rockies are proud to host and honor those who sacrifice on behalf of us all. With us on the field today is Senior Airman Anthony Mastriana from the United States Air Force Academy's Security Forces Squadron. Airman Mastriana is recognized for exemplary performance in a deployed location where he ensured the safety of hundreds of military troops and U.S. contractors. He is joined on field today by his father Bob, mother Diana, and friend Scott. Fans, please give a warm hero's welcome to Senior Airman Mastriana and all of our nation's brave servicemen and women and their families. We thank you for your service and sacrifice. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country with the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Technical Sergeant Chris Hamill. Please welcome Technical Sergeant Hamill and join him by singing along to God Bless America.
Here's how Arcuni Lexus look back. It's been all about pitching today. Debut of Tyler Anderson could not have gone much better. 6 1/3, a run on 6 hits, did not walk a soul, struck out a half dozen. But Christian Friedrich in his return to Coors Field, just as good. He did walk in a run. That's how the Rockies scored. He allowed only 2 hits, 1 unearned run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. John Jay tied it up a few minutes ago against Gonzalez Germain. So now it'll be Kevin Quackenbush. Quackenbush pitched 2 innings and allowed a run on Friday night. The come from behind victory 7-5 for the Padres, and first pitch swinging. This is deep right field, way back, got a chance. Home run, Mark Reynolds.
How about that? 1 pitch, gone. See you later.
Barely got to introduce Quackenbush, and Reynolds said hello.
I was getting ready to say he was that winning pitcher on Friday night in that ball game, and after that home run, he's on line to be the losing pitcher tonight, or today.
Now, Mark hit a home run last week against the Padres, and he goes oppo on a high fastball.
Belt high fastball. Mark's done this a number of times in his career, 4th time this season, and no doubt to right field.
Nick Conley 0 for 2, and Nick hits one off the end of the bat to shallow right. Here comes Kemp, and he makes the catch. That's a terrific catch by Matt Kemp.
Matt still showing those wheels, and then the slide, hooks it in, closes it up in time as he hits the ground.
And I don't know if television always gives a great view of it. You know, we've been around Matt for a decade. Matt Kemp's a big man.
Real big man. He almost took out that wall in center field a few years ago. That's how hard he hit it. But he did hurt his shoulder in that, but he is huge.
1 out. Here's the first AB for Gerardo Parra. With the Rockies up 2-1 on the Mark Reynolds home run. Career home run 241. 2 outs as we check in with Spilly.
Hey guys, I'm sitting with Tyler Anderson's family. John Anderson's to my left. I got Mary Anderson. There's a lot of people here. Jamie is here, his sister. Cece, his sister. Uncle T.O. is here. How are your nerves? How are you feeling?
I'm calm now that it's over, but we were nervous to begin with. It's really just very, very excited for Tyler and to be here in Denver watching a Rockies game.
How did Tyler tell you? Did he call you a couple nights ago, and what was your reaction?
He did. He called about 10:30 at night, and which was very unusual. He never calls home. And so I just kind of said, hey, what's going on? And he said, well, how's your work week going? And I said, good. He said, well, you might need to take a day off because I'm going to Denver. So we all screamed and yelled, and and then he called the entire family.
Was that one of your proudest moments watching Tyler's career, or was there other moments where you realized you're like, draft day 2011? What else was it?
You know, I don't think there's any one moment really. I'm proud of Tyler for realizing his dream, but I'm more proud of the man that he is. The character that he's developed in his life is going to take him through life, and I'm more proud of that, I think.
Thank you guys so much. I'm proud of Tyler as well. You guys have an awesome son.
Thank you so much. We're really happy.
What a special day for Tyler and his family. 2-1 Rockies. Run number 241 has given the Rockies a 2-1 lead as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Today's attendance brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Something to smile about. 32,946 smiling broadly. And I think it's because those four got the rally shirts out.
That before Mark went up to bat. We didn't show him on TV, but they had him out there ready to go, and that's what powered that ball 390 feet over the wall in right field.
Matt Kemp in the 8th inning against Gonzalez Jermet, Derek Norris, Melvin Upton as well. Double-barreled action in the Rockies pen. Boone Logan is up now on the left side, and Chad Qualls on the right side. And Kemp swings and misses. Matt has 2 singles today. You know, there are times in your life where you can pause and you say, I know I will remember this moment forever. And Spilly interviewing Tyler's mom, that's one of those moments that watching her son, all of the work, and then overcoming the injury from a year ago, the doubt, the wondering, hey, will I ever be able to throw at the same level again? And here he is in the big leagues. He spent a lot of time with that guy who's on his right, who does as good a job rehabbing people as anyone in baseball, Scotty Murayama. This is rolled foul.
Those people are your lifeblood when you're talking about an organization, when they're rehabbing people. Jason McWilliams over at Stedman Hawkins Clinic is another guy that would get them right after surgeries. But for these guys, they're with them every day. They feel the ups and downs. They understand. I mean, Scotty's working with Adam Ottavino right now. Tyler Chatwood with his 2 Tommy John surgeries. It's a collective effort by everybody.
Scotty Murayama is the rehab coordinator for the Rockies, and if you're hurt and it's an extended period, and Scotty is a wonderful guy on top of being great at what he does. But Spilly, as you know, your family at the end of that process, because he's going to spend, these guys spend more time with Scotty than anybody else.
It's unbelievable how much time Scott spends with these guys, and he puts his heart and soul into it. And the fracture that Tyler Anderson came back from.
That's 3, by the way, Spilly. That's 3 broken bat singles today for Kemp, and I'm sure he's not going to complain about it. So in a 1-run game, the leadoff man is on in the 8th. Go ahead, Spilly.
Well, I want you guys to realize that the injury that Tyler Anderson's coming back from, the elbow fracture, is kind of common, not too common in starting pitching, and that's why there was thought process behind if they wanted to put a screw in his elbow or not. Instead, they decided to treat him like he had osteoporosis, and so they tried to rebuild the elbow back from the inside. Normally, it's a relief pitcher. Pedro Strop and Rafael Bencourt, 2 guys that have come back from it.
And Pedro Strop, former Rockies farmhand with a big arm, and he's had a nice career for a number of clubs working out of the bullpen. Derek Norris with a 1-0 count, and that's pulled foul. Check this out. This is how special the debut was for Tyler Anderson historically in this organization. There's only 5 guys who've ever thrown 6+ innings and allowed 1 or fewer runs in their debut. Mark Brownson, who threw the shutout, and unfortunately Mark didn't have a long career beyond that, but he did it down in Houston. Jason Jennings, everybody knows about that in a Rockies uniform. Nicasio, Jamie Wright. Jamie finally retired at 60 this past offseason. But that's how special the performance was. This ball's got some tail on it, and Chuck makes a great catch. Now he's trying to double Kemp back off of first, and Kemp gets back. That ball was well hit by Norris, and the 6'3½" Charlie Blackmon reached up and took at least a double away, and probably a tie ball game. And the timing as far as when to jump is huge, and for Charlie, he made the decision at the right time. And he also, because he's running away from his glove hand, and so he has to jump, time his jump, and reach across his body all at the same time and catch it. Thought that might sneak over his head for a moment. Great play. Upton takes a strike. Melvin is 0 for 3. Ground ball. Called strikeout, fly ball to left. It's one of those games you're living on the edge of your seat. 2-1 Colorado in the 8th with 1 out. Ground ball to third. Should be 2. There's 1 on the first double play. Well done, Gonzalez-Germain, after the lead single. Got a little help from his center fielder. Rockies up a run, middle of 8th. Sports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies Taco Special when the Rockies score 7 runs or more in a game. Rockies trying to do something they haven't done in the first 3 series against the Padres this year, win a series. They've lost 2 of 3 in each of the first 3 series, including the first home series of the year. That's when the Padres blitzed the Rockies the first couple of games. They had 37 hits and about 400 runs, it seemed, the first 2 games after being shut out in their first 3 games of the season. But the Rockies up 2-1 after winning yesterday 5-3. Now they'll try to build on that. DJ LeMahieu facing Ryan Buchter. Buchter from the left side for the Padres, and he has been really reliable for Andy Green and Darren Balsley.
Worked scoreless ball 26 out of his 29 games to start the season. A batting average against it just 157. Fastball, curveball, that's it. Fastball, as you saw right there, 92 miles an hour is what he will average, and his curveball is about 81 or 82.
DJ takes a strike. Qualls and Logan have taken a seat. Jason Mott is up.
Just 12 walks, a whip below 1. Lefty's hitting 154, right-handers 160 against Ryan.
This ball's well hit, dead center field. Jay's got a long run, not going to get there. To second with a leadoff double, DJ LeMahieu. They keep shifting on him dramatically, and he keeps burning them.
Yesterday, he burned him for a triple in the 5th inning. Today, here in the 8th, he burns him for another double. They're going to keep playing you in the off gap and then feed you a fastball inside. You'll take it that way to dead center field. Short hops the wall, and all he can do is pick it up, throw it back in, and he'll have a leadoff double, 17th of the season. Now, because of that, they'll intentionally walk Nolan.
That'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez, 0 for 3 today. Never popular when one of your superstars gets walked, but it's the right baseball play. You got to set up a force if you're San Diego with nobody out. How about DJ? 11 for his last 26 at the plate.
2 doubles today, and even that ball he hit on the ground to Ramirez, that was hit hard. The one that Ramirez booted.
It was hit very hard. And you know, we're in mid-June. We'll talk more about it here in the next few weeks. But DJ LeMahieu deserves strong consideration to be in San Diego for the All-Star game.
The thing he has in his favor, he was there last year.
Yep, absolutely. So Cargo with 2 on. Cargo 0 for 2 lifetime against Ryan Buchter. On the outside corner. Cargo a couple weeks ago when he was especially locked in. He got locked in, hitting taters off left-handers.
And the one that really got him locked in, he said, was that line drive at Fenway Park off the Green Monster.
That's a strike also, 0-2. He got a couple fastballs in his last at bat against Friedrich. Everything was soft. He took Osage deep a couple times.
Both of those were to dead center field.
Tommy Lane in Boston, the left-hander that Cargo hit that bullet off the monster against. 1-2. 2 on, nobody out. Rockies trying to add on. They're up 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Good eye.
You got to think the curveball's coming here.
That's what he was thinking on the first 2 pitches.
Yeah, I agree. Two. Nope, he got the fastball at 94. And there's 1 out. And the Rockies will go to their bench. Christian Adames will pinch hit. This is where the pitcher spot is now.
The leader in pinch hits for Colorado is Christian. 7 for 25.
Every time he gets thrown out there, we keep saying, man, he's giving the Rockies good at bats. It's fouled off. Tied for 4th in the league with those 7 pinch hits. Just a few weeks ago in Pittsburgh, he had his first career home run. He hit it to dead center field.
On a cool, damp evening. The other guys were trying to leave. They couldn't. Christian, I got it. I can make it leave.
And it was a 9th inning home run, no less. This is down the line foul. So LeMahieu at second. Arenado's at first. 2 on, 1 out. Mott in the 9th inning. We'll see Ramirez, Wallace, and the pinch hitter. A lot of room in left center. Good coverage swing there by Christian Adames.
The thing that Christian has going for him as a switch hitter is his swing is very similar from the left side to the right side, where there's not extra movement. One's dramatically different than the other. Still a very simple approach. He just spreads out, tries to rock back ever so slightly onto his right leg, and then use his hands.
And a strikeout of Adames, 2 outs. Now this is what Buchter has done all year. He has really been special in that Padres pen. It'll be left to Story.
Great clip stylist will be on site Wednesday, June 29th, providing haircuts and collecting donations for the Colorado Rockies Baseball Club Foundation.
Buchter has 39 strikeouts in 27 2/3.
Yet he doesn't throw 98, 99 miles an hour, but you see late swing, so guys don't pick it up.
Yeah, he's 93 to 95, so plenty good enough with the velocity. He's given up only 15 hits this year. That fastball at 94, a strike on Story. Trevor, 2 strikeouts and a ground ball to short. Rockies have done a much better job this year in limiting the strikeouts. However, of late, they have been building up. Today they have struck out 11 times. Story's behind 0-2. Trevor won't say anything, but you just tell that he thought that was low.
Right there, the look.
Yeah.
You know, you don't look at the umpire, but you turn your head and you look up to the sky, and don't show him up, but just let him know you didn't think it was. Climb the ladder to strike out Adames. Tried to climb the ladder on the last pitch to Trevor.
A lot of the strikeouts have come on breaking balls. 1-2, and they got him on a fastball away. Buchter, with 2 men on, strikes out Cargo, Adames, and Story in succession. We'll go to the 9th. The Rockies up a run.
At the ballpark, former Rockies and current Rockies taking pictures with fans before the game. Hope it ends with a Rockies victory. We welcome you out to center field. Jenny Kavnar with the former Rocky Corey Sullivan. You had your picture taken earlier today.
I did, quite a few times.
Yeah.
I walked by a lot of people who were like, oh, we'll wait for the real players too.
Oh, stop it. Well, the real players were on the mound tonight. What a pitching duel here at Coors Field. Christian Friedrich, the former Rocky, matching up toe-to-toe with Tyler Anderson making his major league debut, a special.
Tyler Anderson, I know you have never seen the movie The Matrix, but he was a little bit more like Neo on the mound today. He did a great job, mixing speeds, changing eye levels. He kept the San Diego Padres hitters off balance, did a good job.
And now he hopes to see his team end in a victory. For that, we'll head back to Drew and Huey. Guys, we'll see you right after baseball.
Sounds like a good plan. Tyler Anderson looking on. Jason Mott's looking for 3 more outs. And the beautiful thing about the game of baseball, sometimes you don't have to wait very long to try to make amends. And yesterday, Jason Mott got an out in the 8th inning, and he was going to close the game in the 9th, but he gave up a double to Kemp. And then on the very next pitch, he hit Brett Wallace, the pinch hitter, And Walt went down and brought in Estevez. He was trying to stay away from Carlos Estevez yesterday. And today, Jason Mott will face Alexi Ramirez to lead things off in the 9th inning, and Boone Logan is up again, just in case.
Just in case you need him to come in and maybe get a left-hander. Because you look at their bench, they have Bethancourt from the right side, Jankowski from the left side. You figure Solarte's out of the mix with coming out of the game with a wrist injury yesterday.
And the first 2 pitches miss to Ramirez. 2 for 3. He doubled his last time up. He has scored the only run for the Padres today. Scored on the 2-out base hit by John Jay. And it's 3-0. Three balls and a strike on the shortstop for San Diego. 3-2. Nice play.
Without a glove.
He's watching Nolan. Mott just made his debut a couple weeks ago, May 25th in Boston. Had a right shoulder strain, suffered at spring training. Here's the 3-2. Mott's arsenal is pretty simple. He's going to cut the fastball a little bit. Otherwise, it's the express, man. It's 95% of the time #1.
Well, 60 major league saves under his belt, 42 saves in 2012 with St. Louis. But it has been a while for him. He's itching to get that first one. Last one was July 22nd, 2015.
Got him on a fastball away. Nice comeback by Jason Mott as the first 3 pitches in the sequence missed. 1 out in the 9th inning.
Brian Fuentes was up here earlier in the booth talking to us, talking about the adrenaline rush that you have as a closer coming out. There's nothing like it. Jason's felt that rush before. Veteran did not get rattled, falling behind 3-0, comes back and strikes out Ramirez.
So Brett Wallace is up. The Rockies will shift. DJ becomes the rover about 30-40 feet into the outfield. Christian Bethancourt on deck to hit in the pitcher's spot. 1 out in the 9th inning. The Rockies up 2-1. Side on Wallace. 0 for 3 this afternoon.
A rare changeup.
Put something different in their mind.
Well, for Wallace, 4 home runs on the season. 2 against the Rockies, both of those to left field, but he does have pull power too.
Here's the 1-1 to Wallace. 2-1. On the ground to first, easy play. Reynolds says, I got it. And he does. 2 outs.
Smart from Mark to not risk making that throw. Why should you? If you can take it yourself. Also, Jason doesn't have to run all the way over to the bag. Less chance of error. I like to see that from the first baseman.
Keep things simple when you can.
Right.
2 outs, nobody on, crowd standing. Christian Bethancourt will pinch hit. Bethancourt pinch hit yesterday and struck out. Actually, let me correct that. That was 2 nights ago. Outside, ball 1. Wide with the zone, 2-0.
My apologies, Pat. It's a little cut on the end of that to take it off the plate.
And he's going to keep working away. You want to stay away from the pull side. 3-0.
Fell behind 3-0 to Alexi Ramirez, came back and struck him out.
Yeah, if he were to lose Bethencourt, you'd see Walt go and get Boone Logan because you have Amarista, and if it went beyond that, you have Jay. And he just lost him on 4 pitches. So 2 outs. And the tying run to first in Bethencourt. They'll bring in Jankowski naturally to run for him.
Jankowski was the one that was thrown out yesterday trying to steal a base in the 9th inning.
Same type of situation, interestingly, because he represents the tying run. Well, you know what? Walt hasn't budged. I thought he would
go and bring in
Logan. Maybe he, well, now he's coming. Okay.
Okay. He's just waiting. Maybe he was going to let him pitch to Amarista, but there's no, I want to go with the left-on-left matchup.
Two-1, 2 outs in the 9th. The Rockies looking for 1 more out. Boone Logan will be up. But first, a quick reminder coming up after the ball game. Latest episode of The Club. And this week, we're all access with the Rockies. Salt River Field in Scottsdale as the team made its picks in the 2016 Big League Draft. And plenty of other happenings this week on The Club. Jeff Francis, by the way, will be part of the program. It's after the post-game show today. So Boone Logan is not going to face Amarista, who was 0 for 4 against him. Evidently, Yangervis Solarte, the switch-hitting regular, either at second base or third base, with that bad thumb, is well enough to swing the bat. So Solarte will pinch hit against Logan. Lefties hitting just 111 against Boone, but righties haven't been a ton better, 238.
And overall, it's 158 batting average against for Boone Logan. And you know, Solarte had to come out of the ball game yesterday. His thumb was so bad, and it's his left thumb.
And that's a strike. a slider. It really wasn't his best slider. It may have been a little high. Solarte not happy. But Boone will take it. Jankowski at first. And swung on and missed it. A much better slider. It's 0-2.
You also have the advantage with Boone out there with Jankowski. Tougher to try to steal a base.
Oh, 2. Weak ground ball to short. Story's got it. Ball game over. Rockies win it 2-1. Tyler Anderson will get a no decision, but he was unforgettable in his debut. Mark Reynolds the difference with a home run late in the ball game to the opposite field. Boone Logan gets a save with his final out. The win goes to Gonzalez Germain. Kevin Quackenbush takes the loss. Second win of the year for Germain. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The work of 26-year-old rookie and former #1 pick Tyler Anderson. 6 1/3. He gave up a run on 6 hits, didn't walk a batter, struck out 6. And he really kept San Diego off balance. Most of the 6 hits he gave up were broken bat or bloop type of hits. He was that good. And the Rockies win their first series this year against San Diego. And after 27 straight, they can relax for a day before the Yankees come to town. The Rockies with their 30th win of the year. They're 30 up, 33 down. The Padres head out of town 26 at 38. Let's go to center field. Jenny and Corey standing by. Jenny?
So much good stuff you said there, Drew. We'll have it all coming up on the Toyota post-game show. Great debut by Tyler Anderson.
It was. Tyler Anderson may not got the win, but he did an incredible job in his opening debut.
We'll be right back.